Okay, so this is an interesting article for me. Y'all see these headlines? I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in.
Homebuyers surge after the election pause.
Okay. We were right. And we were so right on so many levels, and this article confirms it. November is the new May, which we've been saying. Last week's slowdown was due to the election, which we said. And it's weird because last week they were all writing articles like it was totally unexplainable and headed for a crash. And now, quote, mortgage demand from homebuyers surges after election pause. And one of the most frustrating things to me is they say election pause like they knew this thing was there. Like it was definitely a pause for an election and they knew the election pause was there. So why didn't you mention it last week before the election? Okay, let me give you a summation of what happened. November is historically a slower time of year, but for real estate sales, as buyers and sellers both tend to take a slight break. But home buyers are surging, just like real estate agents, and the host of this show said it would. So mortgage applications rose 4% for the week, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association seasonally adjusted index, and volume went back up to 26% higher than a year ago, in which this article says that's decisive. Now, if you remember last week, it was still like 16% higher, apparently not decisive. Yeah. We've had several months ago where it was like 30 and 40% higher, not decisive. But this week, 26% higher, that's decisive.
That's a new word they're using now, decisive. Mm-hmm. And remember, 6 weeks prior to the election, well, we're 2 weeks past the election now, but for 6 weeks, it had gone down and down and down slowly. And it was before it started going down, it was at like 28% higher than a year ago, or 23%, something like that. And now election pause, which is a thing apparently.
Right. Which this is the first time they've mentioned the election pause, by the way.
First time. Yeah. But we've been saying that. And then it goes up. What did it go up for the week? 4% for the week. Because it had been going down every week, and then it went up 4%, and now 20% year over year. Now it's decisive.
Yeah. So here's a quote from Joel Kahn, who I think our buddy Joel got a promotion because it used to say one of MBA's economists, but now they both in the article misspell his name and say that he's the associate vice president of economic and industry forecasting. Anyway,
that's a promotion.
Yeah, I think so. Housing demand remains supported by the ongoing recovery in the job market and an increased appetite from households seeking more space because of the pandemic. There you go. And Melissa Mara says election pause. That was a thing. That was a thing that we were telling you about, but they didn't say anything. Wait, y'all have the MLS. I'm going to bring up some of these MLS comments a little later. Mike Elizabeth Rodell says, I hope the show has actually buyers who aren't butterfly farmers on okay. All right. So I'm going to get to that one too.
Yeah.
That's a great quote for one of these next articles. All right. So apparently the pause is over, and the doom and gloom that I spouted last week that was directly from the article might have been just to get some clicks, or maybe it was to, I don't know, get people to vote a certain way. I don't know. Do people actually do that? I don't know.
Yeah, well, maybe we were, but remember, we were all supposed to get out of the industry and quit. Remember?
Yeah.
It was over. It was ending.
It was a 6-month low. There was really nowhere to go from here.
Yeah, nowhere to go.
It turns out that the confidence is not only for the buyers.